Peace, family. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again, as usual. I just love to say this as I always say, because it makes me feel good to be able to come into your presence and to have an opportunity to enter into your home to share with you what the Creator has blessed me with in honor of the ancestors. So, family, I'd like to thank you for blessing me to continue to be in your presence in this new year. Uh, in other words, there's no such thing as time, there's only life. So, since our ancestors were so wise to bring the solar system into a particular circle, then that's uh, when time came on the scene. When everything rotated and they studied it and they brought it into a time thing. So, but there's just keep in mind there's only life. So, with that in mind, family, thank you once again, as I said, that we went through Kwanzaa, which is December the 26th through January the 1st. And we started off with Umoji Unity, and we ended up January the 1st with Imani Faith. So let's go into the new year with faith and to build it as we journey through this new year. So today, I'm going to present to you another dynamic topic that is essential to our growth and our development and regaining our balance, which was taken from us, stolen from us, forced away from us uh, by the enemies who hate us with a passion. And I know a lot of people might not even like me saying this, but hey, it is what it is. You know, a lot of things have been stolen from us, especially our souls. And when you tamper with somebody's soul, you tamper with their essence. So we want to regain our souls by sharing with each other, you know, the blessings that we have been given by the Creator. So I want to share with you today, family, a topic on respect. Respect is very essential to us as a people. Because when I was growing up, respect was the main topic, that was shared with us, especially the children, to always respect. And when I raised the two boys that I adopted, the main things I told them was to respect yourself and respect everybody else. As a matter of fact, you become respect. Be respect. So we have to become those things that uh, that we want to give to others. You have to have it to give it. So respect is personal. Everything is personal to the individual first. And once you embrace it, then you can share it with others. So respect is a personal thing. So let's talk about respect. But we must understand or know what respect is. And respect means a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something because of their ability, because of, or their qualities, or their achievements. Yes, let's show respect because of the abilities, the qualities, and the achievements of someone or something. In other words, a feeling or a way of treating and thinking uh, about someone or something, a way of treating and thinking, about someone or something. Respect also can be a way of, um, let me see, accepting. It can be a way of accepting someone for who they are, accepting their opinions, accepting their uh, feelings, and respecting their achievements. Yes. And we must respect them also for what they honor and what they represent. So respect is due. They say respect is due to a dog. When you don't give yourself or someone else respect, then what are you saying without saying it? We find out that when you look at TV and the way things are today in this world, it's almost like we have more respect for animals, like dogs and cats, more than we have each other. Because when you look at TV, you see a fire or uh, a hurricane or uh, some kind of weather disaster. The first thing they do is say, "Hey, well, we want to know where the dogs are. We want to know where the cats are." Or at least we save the dogs or the cats. Wait a minute. You going to put an animal before a human being? Even though you should have love for all creations, but we must have priorities, and the priorities is each other. And a lot of people, especially the enemy, what he says is, yeah, I love my dog, I love my children. Wait a minute, you love your dog and then you love your children. See, we were never like that as a people. We were always into each other to make sure that each other was straight. Each other had what we needed. But once we integrated, once the matrix developers created all these illusions and all these dreams, we started doing and thinking the same thing and believing the same thing they do, in which we are extremely out of order. I'm just saying this, family. I'm not downplaying or saying hate the animals, but I'm saying that we must love ye one another first. So let's get our priorities in order, family. It is very, very important that we must love ourselves and love ye one another first. So, respect in a relationship. What is respect in a relationship? Let's think about this, family. Respect in a relationship should build feelings of trust. It should build feelings of um, safety. It should build feelings of well-being. And you would know that through a person's character. Let's look at a person's character because the character of a person is their reality. Let's not pretend or fake ourselves out because of their faces or because of their titles. Let's look at what they're doing with their faces and with their titles. Remember, action speaks louder than words. Let's always check out the behavior of a person which represents their character. So these are the three things that we need to acknowledge in a respectful relationship. And the things that we should acknowledge is, like I said before, the relationship should build feelings of trust, build feelings of safety, and building feelings uh, of well-being. Let's understand that, family. I just want to give it to you raw. We don't need to dilute it or season it up or sweeten it up or anything like that or mix it up. Let's just tell it like it is. Let's go old school. And if somebody's feelings is hurt, why are you telling them the truth? Then they need to check out, well, why are they hurt? They need to ask themselves that. So if you're hurt, that must mean that you need to pay attention to something, especially when it's true. So building relationship is extremely, extremely important because we didn't get here by ourselves and we're not going to make it by ourselves. So that brings up the point to me and to share with you is, well, what is self-respect? Wow. We need to really, really think about what is self-respect because everything starts with self and then towards one another. So self-respect is a good thing. It should bring about being good to yourself first. Self-respect is being good to yourself first and not finding fault in yourself, not tearing yourself down, not feeling negative about yourself, but treating yourself good by taking care of yourself, by disciplining yourself. Because everything is about how you treat yourself first. In other words, as within, so without. So when you check a person's without, you know what's going on within. Don't fool yourself, family. Don't have exceptions to the truth. Sometimes we allow people to get away with things that we shouldn't allow them to. Because if it is what it is, then it's going to be what it's going to be. See, I'm real, family. I'm honoring and representing the ancestors. The ones who blessed us with an opportunity to be here and to honor and represent them. As a matter of fact, to do better. Because every generation should get better. And I want to make sure that I am a better version of those before me. So that means that I have to stand on their shoulders and represent. Remember what I mentioned to you before about the totem pole? We were taught and schooled and fooled to believe that the lowest one on a totem pole is the weakest one. How is that possible? When the one down the bottom is carrying everybody else. So how weak can you be to do that? Don't let them school you, family. Don't let them fool you. So self-respect is to treat yourself good and not tear yourself up all the time, not finding fault, but taking care of yourself and disciplining yourself. You have to be intentional and deliberate about your personal growth and development, your personal transformation. And therefore, you will know thyself. Because if you know who you are, you know who God is. Because the essence of us is God. And when you recognize that, then you can truly say and mean that I'm a child of God. So family, respect is the foundation to all relationships, all true relationships, which is pleasing to our Creator and our ancestors who always want the best for us. Respect is the foundation. See, we talk too much about love. And when you look at the process of it all, the foundation is more important than the structure itself. And builders know that. The stronger the foundation, the more you can build on it that will be lasting. And that brings about a thought in my mind about what the singer Tina Turner said. She said, what love got to do with it when it's a secondhand emotion? And what she was really saying, and what I gathered from it is, how can you love me when you don't respect me? Respect is the key to it all. I don't have to love you to respect you, but I have to respect you to truly love you. In fact, they go hand in hand. Respect yourself, the staple singer says. Remember that? Everything starts at home, and we're not talking about a building. We're talking about the home of your mind. Everything starts with the mind. The mind is like a magnet. Whatever you throw out there in the universe, it comes back, but it comes back multiplied. So be careful what you put out there in the universe. It's like a boomerang. You throw it out there, it's going to come back, but it's going to be loaded. So love ye one another, but first you have to love yourself. You have to have it to give it. That's the process of life. We need to understand processes. And when you fulfill the process, you automatically become a winner. Always. Isn't that beautiful? But before you win, you have to first be a winner. You can't fool energy, family. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but some people you can't fool at all. And just because they don't say nothing don't mean they don't know. Remember when we used to come in the presence of the ancestors, the elders, they knew something about us right away. And they even told us something about ourselves that we didn't even tell them. How did they know that? Because life is more than just the physical. They felt your energy. You can't fool energy. Energy recognizes itself. And it recognizes what's not itself also. So we are energy with a face. We are spirit with a face. We are the universe with a face. We are vibrating at a frequency with a face. But we must step it up. There's always room for better. Because sometimes your best is not good enough. So let's keep on growing and keep on learning. You can't go wrong, family. But first, it must start with self. Respect yourself. That's why it's so important for me to share with you the foundation of all relationships, all true relationships, all lasting relationships, and that's respect. We must really, really get that and teach our children to first and foremost respect themselves, and then you'll have something to give to others or each other, and that is respect. So, being considerate, listen, family, being considerate and honoring the feelings, the opinions, and the properties of others is respect. Being considerate and honoring the feelings, the opinions, and the properties of others is giving respect. I'm coming from etymology, family, the original meaning of the word respect, and the original meaning of all the things that I share with you. But unfortunately, we get everything when it's mixed, it's flipped, it's sweetened, it's seasoned, and all that kind of stuff. We don't need that. We are the original people, so we must embrace everything that's original. Because when we go to these schools that's by somebody else, they're going to give it to you in their version. And that's after everything has been changed and, flipped all over the place. That's why I say study. When you study, you show yourself approval. And you lean not to your own misunderstanding, but rightly dividing the word of truth. So that's study, family. Let's get it yourself. Because when you achieve something yourself, you appreciate it better. You appreciate it more. You value it more. So do yourself a favor and earn the right to become a true child of God. So, family, let's think about this. How, or let me ask you this question. How do you treat others, including yourself, with dignity and respect? How do you treat a person with dignity and respect? Well, first of all, what comes to mind is to acknowledge the person's dignity, to acknowledge the person's person, their respect. Acknowledge that we should respect everyone. You don't have to love everybody, but respect is due. They say respect is due to a dog. Remember what I said earlier? How can we love a dog, which is an animal, and have how can we respect an animal and we don't even respect each other? How can we love an animal we don't even love each other? Everything starts with self and towards one another. But when we integrate it, we made the wrong turn. We did. Look at the results. It speaks for itself. So the first thing we need to do to treat each other or to show each other with dignity and respect is to acknowledge each other's basic dignity, their basic person, which is honor and respect. The second thing that comes to mind is have empathy for one another. Give each other the benefit of the doubt. Be considerate of one another's feelings because a lot has happened to us. A lot. 500 years of torture, turmoil, hell, fire, total disrespect and disregard by others. And it has affected us so much we turn on ourselves. And that's some deep, deep stuff there. The matrix is working. But we must come together and come out of the matrix. Come out of this illusion. Come out of this dream and wake up and get the job done. But first you have to be a team player. And the team is our ancestors. Honoring and representing them. So it won't be about you. It'll be about the team. Because one individual is not as important as the team. But most of us can't get beyond ourselves. So you're no good for the team. You have to qualify yourself. So let's understand that it takes a process to get from A to B. Not based on your feelings, the very thing that got us in trouble, but based on what you know. We know too much we don't do. That's why it turns against us. You're held accountable. A lot of people just a walking book, but they're not doing anything. Or they should be doing more. I'm just being real, family. Only the truth will set you free. And the truth is the light. And when you shine in your light, you can see everything before you and around you. And the enemy doesn't want that. He wants to keep us in the dark. He wants to keep us in this illusion, this matrix, these dreams, which is nothing but nightmares. So the first one, family, as I said, is to acknowledge a person's basic dignity. The second one is to have empathy for one another. The third one is to listen to each other. Now, today we hear each other, but we don't listen. Sometimes we take each other for granted. Sometimes we get used to each other, get too familiar, as they say, and we don't listen. When you're listening, that's a skill that will cause you to focus and to be intentional about what somebody is saying to the point where you can read between the lines. So you're actually hearing more than what is being said. That's a skill. That's a skill, family. We must learn how to listen to one another. The fourth thing, family, is to acknowledge each other's contribution. Because some of us have really contributed a lot. We have gone over beyond our individual selves to the point where we became team players. So we must acknowledge the contributions of each other, because it seems like to me that most people are more important after they passed on. But we must acknowledge each other while we're still here, because acknowledgement can prolong your life. It can give you a reason to stick around. So let us acknowledge one another and the contributions, and to influence others to make a significant contribution, so that our children will cease going down the wrong road of destruction. Something happened and we must correct it. Stop depending on the enemy to correct something that we embraced. We got in this mess together and we got to come out together. Man up, woman up, mind up, own up. The fifth one, family, is to avoid, listen, family, to avoid gossip and to avoid teasing one another. See, gossip has become almost the order of the day. Wherever you go, everybody's gossiping. You can go to school, they're gossiping. You can go to work, they're gossiping. You can go to these religious institutions, they're gossiping. You belong to a fraternity or sorority, they're gossiping. They're nothing but cliques that's going the wrong way. Don't get caught up into gossip and teasing one another, because all of us been had. Now, I use this illustration all the time, as you know, is that a dog with rabies bit me, and then the dog with rabies turned around and bit you. Then why are we blaming each other? We must come together and get that damn dog. We need to stop the dog from biting us. And the only way that can happen is we do it together. We got in this mess together. We got to come out together. We must be pleasing to the Creator and our ancestors, to show them that we are honorable and we are representing. Wow. Wow. And some of us are doing that, but more of us need to do it, and we need to step it up. Because anytime we're dealing with the law of inertia, things are in motion, have a tendency to stay in motion and pick up as it goes along. You can get into a certain mindset that it'll end up doing you. You've been doing it for so long. But the good things in life is that a lot of times we don't do it long enough. But if you do it long enough, it will start doing you. It will do you. So the law of inertia is working me, because I've been into what I'm into for so long, I don't even have to think about it. It's doing me. Now think about this, and I believe I brought this up before, is that a wise man goes by what he knows. And everybody understands that. But how about this? If I know, or if a wise man knows what they know, do they have to think? Ask yourself that. That's raw food for thought. So that tells me that thinkers, if you have to think, you are a beginner. Because thinking is the process to get you to knowing. Check it out, family. Don't just throw it away because you never heard it before. Let it marinate. Because if I know, I don't have to think. Just tap into what I know. That's just how simple it is. So, family, these are what I just shared with you, are how we should treat one another with dignity and respect. Is to acknowledge each other's basic dignity. Is uh, to have empathy for one another. Uh, to to listen to one another. To acknowledge each other's contribution, and to avoid gossip and teasing. Avoid it. And these are some of the things that will get us back on the good foot, as James Brown said. We got to get on the good foot for our family and do things the way that our ancestors expect us to do it. Give them a reason to be there for us, to lead, guide, direct, and protect us along the way. So we must be there for one another, family, without the expectations of reward. Let's do it because we know this is what we're here to do. We must be there for one another. But the key to it all is you got to draw a line. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. You got to know when to dust your feet off and turn around and walk away. But before you can do that, you must guard your heart. You must put your breastplate on. Because one thing about real people, we love deep and we love hard. And a lot of people take advantage of that. Some people we just won't let go. And let God. Sometimes we get in the way and we get some of it too. So let's be focused. Let's be intentional about everything that we do. Stay in control. Family, respect is to recognize that someone is important and should be treated well. Let's recognize the importance of a person and treat them well because they deserve it. Stop hating. Because a lot of people don't like other people doing the right thing. And remember what it says in the scripture? The messenger's hated in his own town. Sometimes you got to go somewhere else and get some respect. But people are not going to like it. Real people are not popular. And I understand that. But I got to do what I got to do to fulfill my purpose and create a righteous legacy that will last for generations to come. So family, let's recognize each other's importance and treat each other well. That's very, very important. So that brings about the point of true respect. So true respect is however you want to be treated, treat them the same way. However you want to be treated, so treat them. In other words, treat others the way you want to be treated. So family, when recognizing the presence and the power of God, within yourself. That is showing respect for yourself and your relationship with the Creator. You get 2 for 1. When you love yourself, you love the God that's within you, because the essence of us is God. Yes. So before I finish, I like to, as usual, synonyms and antonyms. The synonyms for respect are admiring, appreciative, recognizing, honoring, obedience, um, uh, let me see, recognizing, obedience, oh yeah, polite, and well-mannered. These are some synonyms that are similar to respect. Now, when you talk about antonyms, which is the opposite, just put this on everything I just said. This means not admiring, not appreciative, not recognizing, not honorable, not polite, not well-being. So that's very important to know the difference. So in conclusion, family, always remember that let us keep the awareness that we must treat each other with respect, because all of us have been damaged. Some of us are more healed than others because of our efforts. So let us respect one another, because all of us have been damaged by the enemy who hate us with a passion. And we didn't do anything for them but to give them civilization, give them knowledge, give them wisdom, give them the essence of life, health, happiness, all the material things that they uh, stole from us and took from us and robbed us and raped us and tampered with our souls deeply, took our souls from us. But we must come together and get it back. We got to be like the beehive. You mess with one of us, you got to deal with all of us. That is very important, family. That's what you call community. We got too many neighborhoods. We don't even know each other. We don't care about each other. Nobody know who's next door. Everybody got attitude. So we must come until we embrace community once again. Common unity. There's nothing going to change, because we tried everything else, begging the government, begging for jobs, begging for this, begging for that, like we children. When we taught them what's up, we got to go back and get it. We got to go Sankofa, go back and get it, bring it up and validate it. So family, we must first respect ourselves, our individual selves, and have something to give towards one another. You have to have it to give it. So everything starts at home, the home of your mind. And always remember to honor and represent our Creator and our glorious ancestors who always want the best for us. Respect, family, starts with self, and then you have something to give to one another. We must be intentional and deliberate about that. So let's talk more about respect than ever before, because it is definitely due, in order to give the ancestors and the Creator a reason to be there for us. Family, thank you once again for giving me the honor and the privilege to share with you what I've been blessed with. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye, your servant. And I would like to say to you to stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs, because life is for the living. Let the dead bury the dead. Do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. But you have to have a sharp discerning spirit to know the difference. Always also remember to keep your head towards the universe where all strength can come from. And never give up and never, ever, ever, ever give in, no matter how things seem as emotions. Because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. God doesn't make any mistakes, but we do. But when you learn from your mistakes, it's all good. And don't forget, learning can be painful, but you can't beat the blessings. Keep your lights on and keep them bright at all times. Right thinking, right giving, and right eating is holistic. Family, I love you, I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Peace, Baraka, and Hotep. This is Dr. Sadiki Che Baye, your true servant. Happy New Year, Happy New Journey, Happy New Life, Happy New You.